It's that she go, no, she on the flow. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's that.
So in the morning class, we have declared one class called enquire, and we have said there were a few instance variables with respect to class enquiry. So we have written some constructors. One constructor was taking a 3 parameters, and one more constructor it was taking 4 parameters, right? So we have written a main function, and then we have created object of that. We have said that constructor will be executed when you are creating an object, right? And the purpose of a constructor is to initialize the instance variables, right? Be clear with this particular statement of a creating an object. Why? Because there might be few questions asked whenever you go for the interviews, or if you are doing any what I can say technical kind of answering, like MCQ kind of technical questions. So there might be a question asking something like this: does new keyword will will it just create some memory, or will it initializes the members of an instance variable, right? Or the question may be something like this: new keyword is responsible for creating object and initializing instance variable of the class. Is it true or false? Right? Is it true or false? New keyword is used for creating a object and then initializing values to instance variables. Is it true? New keyword is only responsible for creating object, not for the sake of initialization. Correct? Who is responsible for means assigning a values to instance variables? Your constructor is responsible for assigning a values, not a new keyword, right? New keyword responsibility is only to create an object, right? When it creates an object, it will initialize all, so means all everything has been kept a null. When it created an object, so object was a null, so means null was written into the object, right? So who is going to initialize the values to that particular object? Your constructor will be doing that particular task for you, right? So as it is, as a constructor is responsible, so the constructor is called automatically, and these values are being assigned to those instance variables. Clear? Understood what I was explaining? New keyword is responsible for creating object, and a constructor is responsible for initializing the values of instance variables. So when you are creating object, new keyword is responsible for just the creation of object, right? And this constructor is responsible for initializing values to the instance variables. Object
Okay.
is nowhere responsible for initializing the values. New keyword will just create an object. It will not initialize the values. Constructor will initialize the values to instance variables. Right? Yes. So before we proceed further, what is overloading? Method overloading. What is overloading or method overloading?
Using a same function name different types.
Okay, using the same function name with a different set of arguments.
Yeah.
Yes. Can I say something like this? Using the same function name with a different signature. Signature in the sense that particular set of arguments. Any other answers? Right. So means people, I hope everybody knows what is the method overloading. Method overloading is the, what I can say, flexibility given for the functions. So where functions can have a same name, but argument list can be different, right? Why to create a new object? We can print these values without creating object. Then why to do this much headache, sir? Her question is why to create a new object? We can print these values without creating object. Then why to do this much headache, sir? Can you just tell me like how you wanted to create without using object concept itself?
So without creating object, we can simply print like in we can directly put the value of id names in main function na, and we can simply run the system out.println and put these values.
Okay, let me give you a small example. How many instance variables I have taken? 4 instance variables I have taken. Is
Yes,
this
sir.
only for, so means in a general, in a real time, will you be just taking only these particular 4 values? Say for example, you came to a Jain University for admission purpose, right? So during admission purpose, so means during the admission process, they will give you one application form, right? So in that application form, whether they will collect a address 1, address 2, primary mail id, secondary mail id, all those information, it will be almost some three pages of a application form, right? So now what I'm saying is, say that particular 3 page of application form is only with respect to one student, right? So just assume that, so means not assumption, so with respect to university, they have around 2000 people, right? So if I consider, I don't want to go with the classes and objects concept, I wanted to do everything in a main function itself normally, right? So now what I mean to say is, for a one student, if there are just 20 fields with respect to one student, if there are 20 fields, do I need to create 20 variables for one person? Yes, obviously you have to create a 20 fields for one particular person. So for a 2000 people, how many number of variables I have to create?
2000.
Then I need to remember each and every name of that particular variable, because one name, if I give for a one variable, I cannot give the same to other, right? I have to give something like name 1, name 2, name 3, name 4, name 5, name 6, name 7 till name 2000,
So
right?
what's now here? You are doing same now. You are creating object 1, 2, 3.
See, I'm just creating object. That means if I say one person, I'm getting a set of 20 fields directly. Am I reducing at least? How many instance variables we have created? We have created 4 instance variables. Yes, by creating a 4 instance variables, if I'm interested in creating some 2000 objects, no problem. I can easily understand that this is object 1, object 2, object 3, object 4. Giving a object numbers from a 1 to 2000 is comfortable for me when I consider that how many number of variables we have said, like 20 into 2, 4000, so means 20 into 2000, yes, 40,000 variables names. Got a imagination or need to explain? You still didn't get it. Now assume that here, instead of a 4 instance variables, you have a 20 instance variables. Am I giving a different name for each and every instance? Am I giving like a id 1, name 1, phone number 1, date of birth 1? No, right? I'm
No.
directly giving a normal name itself, right? So now when I'm creating an object, am I bothered about the name of that? So means, am I bothered about variable name? Am I bothered about whether this value is going to be copied in a whether it is copied in a USN or a ID? What is the name of a variable? Am I bothered at this place where I'm passing a values? I'm just passing a 4 values. I'm not bothered about what is the name given for that particular variable,
No, sir.
right? So we are just passing a values, right? Whichever values we know, we are just passing those values, and we are telling that, so these values will be automatically copied internally by using the constructors, right? So here I have reduced, so means we have reduced headache of creating a different variables for a different person. Only these 4 so means only these 4 instance variables has been shared for all other people, right?
Yes, sir.
Right? So if I have a one application form, so just to compare with the real world scenario, what I mean to say is, if I have a one application form, using that particular application form, can I take a input, or can I finish my registration process with respect to every student? Still confusion?
No, sir.
Understood. So means using this particular approach, am I reducing a number of variables to be created at least?
Yes, sir.
Yes. The second thing is, if I want to initialize the values, that means yes, okay, you have a distributed a value. You have a created application form, and you have a distributed that application form. When you are a distributed application form, people will be entering that particular data, right? Now my intention is, whoever enters the data, I wanted to store that one as an object, right? So now Ruby Kumari will be filling a one application form, and Jagdish will be filling one more application form. Rani Kumari will be filling a one more application form, right? So what I'm saying is, with respect to each and every object, so they will be just filling a values. So once they fill the values, I'll be having a data ready with me. There is no necessity like for a Ruby Kumari, you take this application form where your name has been mentioned in this. So this application form is completely for you. No, not required. So we are not creating a customized application. When a customized application, so means when a customized application form will come, when I'm creating a variables with respect to each person separately, right? If I'm asking, instead of here, if I'm just instead of writing just a ID, if I'm writing a ID underscore Ruby, then I'm talking about ID with respect to only Ruby. I'm not doing like this. I'm just generalizing everything, and I'm telling like whoever is having this particular application, you keep filling the values, right? So at the main function, what I'm saying is, few people might be interested in filling all the values, all the 4 values, and a few people might be interested in filling only 3 values, right? So I should not say like, if you are filling only 3 values, I'm not going to accept your application. I should not say that. I have to take, and the remaining value I need to keep it as a null. This is what we have done with respect to morning session, and that was the use of a constructors. A question in a chat box. Okay, sir, can we have array of objects? Yes, we can have. We have a topic for that. We will discuss array of objects. Any questions? I think Ruby got convinced at least.
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Clear, right? So anybody else, any questions? So let me just compile this one, because at the bottom it was showing a one error. I'll just cross check what might be the error. Let me save the file. Java C consdemo.java. See, with respect to this editor, if it is showing a Java C exited with a code 0 means it has been executed properly. This editor I am using just to not to navigate with respect to command prompt and a notepad. So this is output. It has created 2 objects and it has initialized the values with respect to 2 objects. Right. Okay. Right. So so means actually I have asked the question like what is the overloading, and I got answers saying that if functions having the same name but a different argument list, then they are called as overloading. That means method overloading. Right. Now we have written 2 different constructors, right? So does the name of a constructors are the same? Yes, obviously the name of a constructor should be same and it should match with a class name, right? So now can we say that whether we have achieved a constructor overloading? Did we achieve something called as a constructor overloading? Can I say that we have achieved a constructor overloading? Do we have 2 constructors with the same name? Yes, we have 2 constructors with the same name. Whether those constructors are different with respect to the parameter list which we have sent. right? So we have written two constructors, and those two constructors has got a different set of a parameter list. Different set in the sense, what I mean to say is number of a parameters, right? So number of a parameters with respect to first constructor is only 3, and with respect to second constructor is a 4. That means I was able to achieve something called as constructor overloading, right? Okay, so there are two questions with respect to chat box. Sir, should we also install a JRA alongside JDit? Not required. If you have a configured a JDIC, means after installation you just go through there is in a YouTube you just check how to configure a JDIC. It will show you one video. So you have to install a small plugin, and you have to configure that plugin with the JDK. You will get a video for that. See, it is up to you which ID, so means which editor you want to use. You cannot say this is ID, this is the editor. So this editor, any editor, if you want to use, you can use any of the editors. So I felt like at the same place I can type a code, and I can execute the things also at the bottom. So I just preferred a JEdit, right? If you want to know how to install this one, go to YouTube, just type a configuration, how to configure a JEdit for a JDK. So it will show you step-by-step instructions. And one more question, sir, could you tell me about how Java assign default constructor? See, if you are not passing any arguments, then it is called as a default constructor. And by default, even though if you are not writing any constructor, there will be a constructor available, right? Now, what does this constructor will do? That constructor will initialize all the instance variables with the null values. So means if it is an int, 0 will be assigned. If it is a string, null will be assigned, right? So default constructor will be there, which will not take any argument, right? So just a class name followed by a brackets, your common brackets. That constitutes what is called as a default constructor. Constructors with no arguments is called as a default constructor. Did I answer your question, Brahan? BTRS is 057. Brahan, did I answer your question on a default constructor? Audible, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Understood, right? Okay.
Thank you.
Now, so any other questions with respect to the example? One more important conclusion with respect to constructor. Can I write something like this? Hope you observed what was a change.
No.
Will there be any error if I write something like this?
No.
No error.
I think it will be an error because the one constructors doesn't have any return type.
Okay, so constructor should not have any return type. Yes, we have said in the morning, it should not have any return type. You cannot write something like a int enquire or a float enquire or a double enquire or a void also. You cannot write even a void also for the constructor. Yes. Will it show error? That is a question. What happens if I write a void? Why I should not give a void for a particular constructor? That means why I should not give a return type for the constructor? Any guess? Right. So one more question. If you are not able to answer, let me clarify you. So means let me give you one more view of this particular situation. Thus, so means can I say class enquiry is a one class, right? Within this particular class enquiry, can I have a method with the same name? Can we give a return type for the method?
Yes.
Yes, methods should be written. So means there should be some return type for the methods. Yes, obviously. Now my question is, does class name can be a method name also? Will it show any error? Shall we check?
Sir, at least the method name we will start with small letter. Even the class must be capital letter. If you do like that, I think it should not be.
See. That particular name, so means capital letter and a small letter, we are doing for our adjustment, just for understanding that if it starts from a capital letter, then it is identification for a class. If it is starting with a lowercase letter, then that is considered as a method or a constant. That is for our understanding. There is no rule like every time you need to give a class name as a starting with a capital itself. There is no rule like that. Let me compile and check what is going to happen. Anyhow, we have a compiler ready. Yes. What is the error? What it is saying now? Yes, there is an error, but what is that particular error? It is saying that error constructor require in class enquiry cannot be applied to a given types, right? Where it is showing a error? It is showing a error where you have created object one, but not at that particular constructor, right? So let me comment that particular statement. I don't want to create a object one which is carrying a 3 arguments. I don't want to execute that particular part. If it was a syntactical error, if it was an error with respect to data type not to be given for the constructor, then it has to throw error here saying that you have defined a data type for a constructor. Is it showing something like that? No. Yes, it is not showing an error. That means whatever I have written is correct, right? Yes, even though it was a correct, but it was showing an error saying that you cannot access this particular constructor. It was saying that you cannot have a return type written for a constructor, and it is not able to match a constructor which is having a 3 arguments, right? So what internally it is doing is, if you are giving any constructor a return type, right? If you are giving any constructor a return type, then JDK will consider it as normal method, not a constructor. Understood? If you are giving return type for a constructor, it will consider this particular part as a normal method, not a constructor. Right? So if I want to call this particular method, how you will be calling that particular method in a general fashion? It means generally how you will be calling a method of your class, right? So let me write a default constructor. This will create object for me. Then using object one, can I call right? So when I'm calling this method, it is accepting 3 arguments, that is of actual parameters. So I am passing those actual parameters just to check for a change. This is the new value that I have assigned. Let us just cross check, is it executing as a method or not? Constructor require in a class enquiry cannot be applied to a given type. 1 second. Okay, so it is expecting a default constructor to be written explicitly. So let me write one a default constructor and not write anything in this. I have just created one default constructor, but I didn't do anything with respect to that particular default constructor. Compiled, working fine with an eval. But at this time, your enquire, void enquire, was considered as a method, but not as a constructor. Does the things are clear? If you are giving a return type for a constructor, then it will consider it as a normal method, not a constructor, right? So as it was considering it as a normal method, I have to create an object. So using the object, I have to call a method explicitly by passing the arguments which matches the formal parameters of that particular method. This example is clear, confusing? Do you feel like we are discussing in depth with respect to constructors? We are just understanding whatever is there, so means whatever the basics are there with respect to constructors. We are not going in detail with respect to constructors, right? Any questions till this point? And keep one more thing in mind when you are writing a parameterized constructor. So you should write your default constructor. Even though if you don't want to initialize, if you don't want to perform any task with respect to that, but it will be checking for the constructor definition. Right? Shall we see a few points which are declared with respect to a PPT to understand the things? I mean, just to cross check whether we have covered all the points or not. Where is the PPT? Yes. New share PPT. Okay. So all these things, class definitions, adding a methods, objects, constructors. Okay. Yes. It is tedious to initialize all the variables in a class each time an instance is created. Yes, that was a tedious. So we came to a constructors concept. Right. Java allows objects to initialize themselves when they are created. This automatic initialization is performed through the use of a constructors. Right. So intention of a constructor was to initialize instance variables. Yes. The constructors has the same name as the class in which it resides. This is what we have said. Class name and a constructor name should match. Right. Once defined, once it has been defined, the constructor is automatically called immediately after the object is created, before the new operator completes, right? So before it completes a statement, that particular line, it will initialize the values and it will be called automatically. There is no required for calling a constructor explicitly, right? So they have no return type, not even a void, right? You cannot specify any return type for a constructor. But if you are specifying, then it will consider it as a normal method, not as a constructor, right? So the implicit return type of a class constructor is a class type itself, right? So he is saying like there is a one type which is called as a class, like a int, float, char, double, all those things. There is a something called as a type called a class. So it will be returning a that particular type. Don't worry about that particular, but not important also, right? If you don't type a constructor into your class code, that means you have not written any of the constructors, your means class is a blank, just you wrote a class followed by the name, nothing has been written there, right? So it is saying that a default constructor will be automatically generated by the compiler. The default constructor is always no argument constructor, right? So that is your default constructor, right? So this is an example. you might be just writing a class followed by a student. So, but internally compiler will be having these many things like a class followed by student. So there will be some default constructor which is called as a student, and within this particular constructor, it will be having a method which is called as a super, right? So we will discuss in detail what is the use of a super and what is the use of this keyword in detail later, right? So just for a time being, just to keep in mind that super is used to refer to its parent class. If you have any parent class defined, so if you want to refer to those things, you will be using the super. We will discuss examples from that one. Clear? Right. So this is the declaration which we have done. Class student, we have created a constructor but not defined anything with respect to that. Even though if you are not defining anything, there will be a super written within that. Again, I'm telling you, we will discuss a super and this keyword separately. Right? Okay. So the default constructor has the same access modifiers as the class. We have not yet started with access modifier. We will see what are the different access modifiers. There is something called as a public, private, protected, default. So we will see all those modifiers. What the point is saying is, whatever the access modifier you have given for the class, so the same access modifier will be applicable for the constructor also. You might have seen in most of our programs, you might have written public class followed by a class name, public class name, right? So public is nothing but an access modifier. Okay, so what it is saying is whatever access modifier you have given for the class, so that will be applicable for your constructor also, right? So the default constructor has a no argument. The default constructor includes a no argument call to a super constructor. We will that only I said you, we will be discussing super constructors later, right? So this is example of a parameterized constructor. You have example, you can go through that particular example, you will understand. And there is a description for a new operator, how exactly the new keyword will work and how it will allocate a memory for the object, right? So method overloading we have to discuss, that we will discuss in a next class. So what is the time now? 2:44. We have a 15 minutes more. Can we, so means according to syllabus, if you have this much knowledge, that is more than enough, right? If you are interested, I am very much interested to do a small modification, so means, or to create a small application to understand one more concept. Shall we? Quick. We will do it very quickly. We will not take much of a time. We will do it in 5 minutes. Let me save a file because it need to have extension of that. So let me give constructor demo2.java. Save the file. Class const demo2. See, it is giving an indentation for me. So let me create a small application. So means a small example.
Sir, it's not visible.
Not visible. One second. One second. Yeah, yeah. Now it's visible, right? Okay. Yes. So I've just taken some int a comma b. So within this, let me create one constructor. Const demo2 is one constructor, and the intention of this particular constructor is, if you are calling a default constructor, I will assign a value is equal to 1 and a b value is equal to 1. This is default constructor. Okay. System dot out dot println. I'm just interested in printing a sum of that particular a plus b. Or let us consider product. You can write it something like this, right? This is one constructor. I wanted to have a one more constructor. Const demo 2. Now let it take a two arguments, right? Int, can I give a same name as an instance variable? Can I?
Yes.
Can I give argument name? So means this is a constructor. I am passing argument for that. I am asking, can I give a same name as this particular instance variable name? Yes, can be given. Now what will be assignment? Are you able to understand? Huh. Just to make a more sense, let me make it as a add. This is not add, I am doing a product. Product is the class. So product is a one constructor, which is a default constructor, and there is a one more constructor which is taking the two arguments, right? So this is the class definition for a product. So below to this, let me have a one more class which is called as const demo 2. Const demo 2 is a class, right? Public static void main string arguments, right? So now what I'm saying is, if I'm just creating a object like add obj is equal to new add, what will be the answer?
Class not add.
Huh? What will be the answer if I'm just writing this particular part, if I'm just executing this one? Say for example, I have only one constructor written. What will be output if I execute this particular program?
Sir, class is not add. Class is just proud.
Class is, will it show any error?
Sir, class is not add, sir. It's pure OD.
Yeah, sure. Product, yes. Ha. If I execute this one now, so what will be output? Will it call this particular constructor and prints this statement?
Yes, sir.
Will it?
Yes.
Yeah. No confusions, right? Now, my intention is I want to have a one more object creation. In this case, I wanted to have a constructor which accepts two values. Right? So when you are accepting two values, then there should be a constructor written which will be taking those two values. Right? So my intention now is, can I have a constructor which takes the same name as your instance variables? Right? So intention of this one is also same. You don't want to perform any new operation here. Just whatever values you get, you perform a multiplication of those two things. Will it work?
Yes.
Yes. Shall we check?
Yeah.
Yes.
What was const demo 2, right? So means compiled fine. Got the answer? 1 and 200. Clear, right? Working fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, suppose my intention is not to perform an operation on these formal parameters. Rather, my intention is to perform an operation with respect to this particular instance variables. So, within this particular constructor, can I write statement something like this? You are talking about which is an instance variable and which is a normal variable now? Confusion.
Sir, instead of this one, just this keyword dot a is equal to a. It's better than that.
Yes. Huh. Did you got my question? My question is at this particular scope, that means at this particular place, can I have visibility for instance variables also and your local variables also? Correct. Instance variable name is also a and b, and a local variable name is also a and b. If you are writing a is equal to a and b equal to b, then there will be a confusion for a person who is reading a program. He will be in confusion like why this stupid is initializing a with a itself, b with a b itself, right? So if you want to talk specifically with respect to instance variables, then you need to use keyword called this dot a. What does this specifies is you are talking about the object of current instance. That means, are you creating object here? That means this constructor is called when you are creating object, right? When you are creating object, that constructor is called, right? So with respect to this particular object, whatever is the instance variables you have, you are copying a values into that. Is that clear? Understood this keyword? This keyword is used to refer the instance variables of current instance.
Sir.
This keyword is used to refer instance variables of current instance. Did I confused?
Sir.
You got my answer or did I confused you by explaining so many things? Can you give, explain it once this, can you give an example? I have taken example and explained, right? More example in the sense, one second, thinking. Say for example, your application is okay. Say for example, your application is not just a calculating a product. It is more with respect to that. What I mean to say is, after taking a values, so means after the taking arguments from this particular location, you consider you have a few more instance variables along with a and a b, you have a something called a c. C is also instance variable. So now my intention is this particular c, so means instance variable c, is calculated something like this. C is equal to whatever the values you have got for the a and b. So average of that particular a and b, something like this dot a, whatever you have got, plus this dot b, that means instance variables you have copied, divided by 2. Now this is my new answer. Again, you might be asking a question, instead of using the this dot a and this dot b, can't I use directly a and b to put a value into c? Yes, can be done, but see, if I want to explain complete working of a this, then I have to explain a this constructor also. It might be a bit confusing. For a time being, we'll not discuss much on this particular keyword. Just remember that, so means to just avoid ambiguity, right? I'm just giving you a statement. Remember the statement. I'll give you a beautiful example to understand this particular keyword, so means this keyword. Okay, so what a statement I'm quoting is, if you have a variable name and an instance variable name as a same, if you have local variable name and an instance variable name as a same, right? To refer the current instance variable, we will be using a this keyword. To refer current instance variable, we will be referring this keyword, right? So we'll take one more example to explain what this means. Once we come to a point of inheritance, you can easily understand what is the use of this constructor, super and a super constructor, right? So for a time being, you keep this, so means this statement itself, right? If you want to refer to a instance variable of a current instance, you will be using this keyword. Any other questions with respect to normal constructors, which we have discussed in the morning session and in the afternoon session, apart from this keyword?
Sir,
Yes.
there is one question regarding to constructor. What about destructor? Is there any destructor in Java?
I didn't get your question. Is there any?
The destructor.
Can you just type it in the chat box?
Okay.
Destructor is not there in a Java. That was restricted only with respect to C++. So means you can explicitly call the destructor, no problem, but it is not recommended to call a so means that destructor explicitly in a Java, because you have something called as a garbage collector. We'll be seeing a topic called as a garbage collector. So garbage collector will take a responsibility of that particular destructor.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it from my side. If you have any questions, you can post those questions in the chat box. I will wait for another 5 minutes. If you don't have a questions, you can leave the session. Thanks for your beautiful time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So we don't have too much use of this keyword like this.
We have a need, necessity is there, but we will discuss with a proper example once we start with the inheritance part. See, when we have a more number of classes, then we can say like I'm not talking about that particular class, I'm talking about this particular class. So there exactly we'll come across what is the exact purpose of this keyword. Now I am taking only one class, so means I'm creating objects only with respect to one class, right? So it is not that much it is not giving that much clarity. So if we have a more than one class, then we will see what exactly we are talking about.
Okay, sir.
Sure.
Sir, I'm again coming to the starting point, but if methods can do our work which constructors are doing, then why we need constructors, sir?
See, if methods, so means methods, using a methods you can do the task, but the problem is with respect to methods. Say for example, uh, in an instance variables, say consider you have some 50 instance variables. Now if I create object of that particular class using the object, using object, can I access all the 50 instance variables? I can. Now if I am writing a method, then I have to concentrate like what variables need to be used for that particular method. One thing. Or else instead of taking all those examples, let me give you this simple example itself. Say for example, you wanted to perform a product like this only, right? So let me give this one as a something like a int prod, or why to take a int, let us take it as a wide prod. Now can I consider this one as a method now?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now am I performing a method overloading now? Two methods are
Yes,
there and a different argument list are there, right? So let me remove this particular part. Let us keep a definition simple, right? In this case, now if I want to create object of this particular class, how you will be creating? You have to create something like this without passing any arguments,
yes, sir.
correct? Now if you want to call a method, if you want to call a method, you have to write something like obj dot prod, right? If you are
Yes,
not a passing argument, right? If you are not a passing argument, it will be calling a method which is not having the arguments, right? If you are a passing argument, it will be calling a method whichever is accepting arguments. This is our method overloading concept, correct? Now suppose what I mean to say is do I need to see to give a better clarity? I'm thinking what example I can quote. Right. The thing is, do I need to write this statement explicitly? I need to write this statement explicitly. Now, say for example, on the same object, can I call normal prod also?
yes, sir.
Normal prod I can call, right? So let me save the file, cross check what might be the output now. Cannot find a symbol object dot prod. Did we give a different name? Capital P.
Decap.
One and 200, getting a same answer.
Yes, sir.
Getting a same answer. Now, am I performing a function call? That means, am I calling the method explicitly?
Yes, sir.
Right. Suppose you have some 50 to 100 methods defined, right? So within your class definition, you have defined some 50 to 100 methods. Now, once you call the function explicitly, does it need to check the function name and the argument list, whichever things you are passing? It need to check whether those things are matching with respect to that particular definition or not, right? So what I mean to say is, what it will do is, it will cross check this particular function, right? It will first cross check, yes, name is matching. Then it will cross check whether a number of arguments are matching or not. If not matching, then it will go to this particular statement. This will be something like if else, right? Now, instead of this particular approach, that means if you have a 50 methods defined, then it will be matching all those methods, checking whether this particular method is matching with respect to a definition given or not, right? So, but in this case, it will not be going in the process of a if and a else method. Rather, it will be directly going in a switch method, right? So
Okay,
whatever
sir.
the number of arguments you are passing, it will directly match to a constructor. It will just directly cross check, are there any constructors defined with this particular set of arguments given, right? So it is not going to check all the different methods. It will be directly going to that particular constructor you have given, and there is no requirement for calling the method explicitly,
Yes, sir.
right? Okay, to have a better conclusion, let me check for a one more beautiful example. We'll see. For a time being, you keep this particular thing in mind. Using a constructor, the execution speed will be a faster when compared to methods. You keep this particular conclusion in mind. I'll justify that particular conclusion using a one more example.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So no more questions in the chat box. So I hope it's good to wind up a session. Okay, so thank you all.